Everybody, welcome back to Smoke Red Barbecue's YouTube channel. So it's a very nice day out here where we live. We haven't had a day like this in a long time. So I'll go ahead and start a new YouTube video just for this nice weather we're having. It's probably just to help the entry level grillers and barbecuers to know really how to do it and where to start. Because I'm definitely not an expert, but I'm definitely trying to be. So that's it. First things first. So I want to kind of mention it. I want just to be grilling 101, like the very entry level basics things you should consider when you start to grill. First things first. So you can obviously use charcoal or propane, but for this video, let's say you're just doing you're being a man and you're just doing propane. So sorry, charcoal. And so you have charcoal. How do you start with charcoal? A couple different methods. Now, in the past I have used Weber makes these white little fire starters that work pretty well. I have used those in the past. You can use lighter fluid. I highly discourage it and don't recommend it for a couple different reasons. Why put more chemicals in the stuff you're going to be cooking on when you don't need it. Thirdly, you could use what you call a charcoal chimney. Hey, it just so happens I have one right here. Here's what I've been using for quite some time. It does really well. I think I've showed this before, but again, here's the bottom of it. So in here, you could put a whole bunch of like newspaper and things like that. Maybe put a little olive oil on there or vegetable oil to keep the fire going a little longer. And then in the top, you throw all the charcoal you need. Now, that's one method. Well, my current model right now is I put the charcoal on the top, but I'll have my propane lighter. I just use as a torch to light the bottom of the charcoal by hand, really, and that gets the fire going pretty quickly. So I have to deal with all the ash and stuff from the newspaper in my area, just blown around when I don't necessarily need it. Big Green Egg makes a couple different, I'm not really sure what they're made of. Just fire starters. You just put them right in the charcoal, light them, and they're ready to go too. Of course, that's starting the charcoal itself. Now, I've always when I first started grilling, I've always was very conservative with how much charcoal I'm using for the grill itself. I'm doing like couple hot dogs or a couple burgers. I'm not using that much charcoal. And then the temperature of the grill was actually rather low, and it took a long time to get the fire to get the stuff cooked. So then it occurred to me, in other videos I've seen online too, be liberal with how much charcoal you're using. It's better to waste charcoal than ruin dinner. That's kind of the motto I'm using now. I'm willing to spend more money on charcoal because I use too much of it, and to waste the money you're spending on the meat because you don't get the right taste you're wanting because the fire isn't hot enough. So I'm willing to go down that road versus something else. So that's the basic entry level of barbecue too. Got some notes here. Let me reference those while I talk to you guys. So again too, if you're putting the charcoal in one big pile, be aware that one pile is going to be rather hot because it's going to get up a temp really fast. If you say you're doing a whole bunch of different, so you say you're doing a whole bunch of hot dogs or something, you want to spread the charcoal, but make sure it's more than just one level high of charcoal, obviously, and then you can go from there. Add more charcoal to it if you need to. I've done a couple different huge cooks for like promotion work event, and where I'm sitting there over charcoal for a couple hours at a time, just flipping burgers, doing hot dogs. Now it's not like fine barbecue by any stretch of the imagination. It's just grilling burgers, and then people I'm with didn't really realize what they're doing, and they destroyed the burger patties that we had. So you're sitting there eating hockey pucks to get it down your mouth. You have to drench it in ketchup, which isn't what I like to do. Anyway, that's beside the point. During those long cooks with grilling, you would have to add more charcoal to it, and then that's just dumping charcoal on the already hot coals too. Nothing scientific about that. If you wanted to, and To get things ready even further too, you could get the charcoal you're going to put onto the already lit coals. You can get those going back in your chimney as well, or back in a different kind of vessel, wherever you want to get the charcoal going. So then again too, grilling 101 is exactly what it is. Very basic, essential grilling techniques you're going to be doing. Tonight actually we're grilling up some chicken. I'm not going to do a video about that, but anyway, because it's the wife's meal, not mine. But anyway, yeah, just very basic stuff here we're talking about. So fundamentally, don't skip on the charcoal you're using. Be willing to use more charcoal than you would normally use to make sure the cook's not going to go to waste. And again too, lighter fluid. I think I have no scientific backing on this, no scientific data to go. Essentially, if you have lighter fluid, you let the chemical lighter fluid cook off. By the time it gets up to temperature, the time you actually start cooking on the charcoals themselves, there's nothing bad that's going to happen to you. You're not going to grow a third arm or something like that. But if you don't wait long enough, if you start cooking right away before the chemical liquid has actually cooked out of the charcoal that's just now been soaked in that chemical, you're eating lighter fluid essentially. And to me that doesn't sound very appealing. So that's why I don't use lighter fluid. I have in the past when I was very new into the grilling community. I'm not going to say I didn't. And had a lot of trouble with it because I never could get the fire going. It took me an hour just to get the fire going. By the time we got the burgers ready, it became a huge ordeal. And then no one was happy because I was frustrated with it because the charcoal wasn't up to temp yet. My wife was frustrated because lunch was prolonged an hour, if not longer, and you're hungry too. So then that's just a recipe for disaster. Yeah. Well, we don't need that. We don't need that in our life. If you have the tools at your disposal, don't use lighter fluid. Use a charcoal chimney. Use those little Big Green Egg fire starter chunks. Use your propane torch. Use those Weber little cubes you got at your disposal too. A lot of different means. So that's kind of what I want to talk about here today at Smoked Red Barbecue. And very basic stuff. Don't expect a thesis on this on how to start a fire. I'm never a Boy Scout, but I can start a fire pretty well. That being said, I just want to say thanks for watching, everybody. And in this new summer season that is very fast approaching, I just want to say if you have any ideas of what I should do next, please let me know. And not my next video is going to be, but I have an idea on a video. I have done my smoke hollow is doing just fine, but it's just sitting there collecting dust. I was challenged by a fellow on YouTube to do a pure stick burning smoke for a cook instead of just using charcoal or lump charcoal or things like that. So I was like, well, I've always wanted to do that. I don't have access to a whole bunch of hickory trees or oak trees at my disposal, but Home Depot, I've seen, or maybe a hardware store of that nature, does have, they do sell logs for barbecue. So I might buy one of those logs and over those packs of logs and just take a long day, but just stick burn a whole cook, because then that's really what barbecue is. Lump charcoal is great, don't get me wrong, but if I can really just maintain the fire on an offset cooker, and the smoke hollow is no master with keeping temperature where it should be too. So if I can just master that, I think that'll be a great challenge for me to see what I can do, or see what I can't do. I'm thinking maybe a pork butt, because I don't want to waste $60+ on a brisket. I haven't. The cheapest I've seen in the store recently has been about $3 a pound for a brisket. So you're thinking $60 for a nice size one too. Which, I mean, really, you're getting a lot of meat for it, but I don't want to ruin a brisket because I wasn't paying attention long enough on a stick burn cook. So anyway, just want to say thanks for watching, everybody, and any ideas, let me know. Thanks.